Hello, millennials, friends, family. Welcome to Tita Salita. We're calling all boss babaes and creative kabayan.
We here, your Tita Salita crew, to talk about what it means to be Tita.
This is actually our break, so come join us.
Yes.
Get in here.
Yeah,
Get up
come
in
on
here.
And grab your calendars, personal planners, alarms, and everything like that, because today we're going to talk about work-life balance.
Oof.
Yeah.
What is that?
Or their lack of.
Did everyone else's chest like drop too? I was like,
How do I talk about something I don't know?
Man, I posted or I've shared like a funny meme about like work feeling so crazy and the amount of people that have replied and said, oh, this week has been crazy or so much is happening. So I don't know if something's in the air or, we're all just...
spring, man.
Super-
Spring.
Yeah,
Vernal
People are
equinox.
getting like really anxious.
We did lose an hour.
I was about
true.
to say that.
We did.
That one always
That
messes
one
me
did.
up.
That messed us up.
That
for sure.
messed
I
us
want
up.
the sun and the hour, Like,
Yeah.
don't take it away.
Yeah.
You gotta pick one though.
Right?
People are like ready to get out of their caves and be like,
Outside.
Yo, the amount of people I saw wearing shorts this weekend, I was like,
Yes.
Oh my god! Yesterday people were outside in tank tops.
No, yesterday was like
Wow.
beautiful.
yeah. People
No,
were
it
in
was.
It was like
I
18.
I went biking, but like
Oh,
it wasn't
nice.
like, hey, I'm in a tank top.
No, definitely
No,
not.
like you like
Still need a little.
hoodie at least,
yeah, yeah.
something
And they
like
weren't
that.
like, if you're being active, I guess you would get a little bit hotter. But they were just chilling,
Hanging out.
Yeah.
enjoying that cold wind.
Canadian warm
Yeah.
cold breeze.
I'm not mad at the good weather. So.
Oh man, so the timing of this, our recording day is a little different, but last night we had Love is Blind,
Yeah, we did.
Oh.
the reunion.
Yes, we did.
I literally hit like play at 9,
Me too.
but then I kept getting
8:59.
pulled in and out because of work, but I was excited for last night's episode. What did you guys think?
I love how we didn't talk in the group.
No, because we had to save it.
This
yeah,
is true
yeah,
actually,
yeah.
it's
Like-
best, yeah. Initial thoughts.
Mullet.
I was gonna
Yo.
say he was in a hot seat,
Yikes.
and he just didn't even know what to say. It was
You know
like,
what? But I will give him credit for at least showing up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he did his best.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was it the best decision or whatever he decided? No. And like I think a lot of them pointed it out last night that like in terms of being part of that experiment, like you really get to dissect yourself, right?
Yeah.
Or see yourself in a different light and the reflection process, there's that. So oh man.
that was
But-
so awkward.
I just felt for him.
Me too.
I
Because
did.
like
I
the
did.
camera slowly just went in.
Yeah.
And then it was just like
I think we all felt it though.
We
Like,
did.
As
We
you
did.
watch him, like how
Yeah.
uncomfortable he was.
when
I
he was
leave
like,
now?
"Can I go?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah."
And he was sitting beside Jeremy, right? So for me, it was like such an interesting comparison to see how Jeremy handled accountability,
Yes.
right, versus how he was handling it. Because for me, like I felt for what's his name, Trevor.
I did too.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
There's
I'm like,
humility.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. He's like, I know
Yes.
I'm toxic. Like I know this was like the worst thing I could have done.
Yeah.
And it almost felt like he was using this as a form of therapy.
Yeah.
Love is Blind was therapy for him to kind
Yes.
of break that
Yeah.
cycle,
Yeah.
So I don't agree with his actions, but I can
Yeah.
understand more so than Jeremy, who is like now, and Sarah Ann, who is just
They were
like,
too spicy.
Oh.
Yeah.
with her glitter chest. I was
know,
so
right?
distracted. I'm like, are you in a pageant? Like, what's happening?
But do you guys think that she had the right to reach out like that? Like because of the circumstance they're in, it's like you fall in love and suddenly you cannot be in love. Like,
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
a little crazy. I know.
Yeah.
I know they were engaged, right? Like obviously, like, but just the situation there was like a really crazy. Like I don't know. I'm not trying to make an excuse. Okay.
No.
Like
no.
never do I think
No,
anyone
no.
should ever step into a relationship where engagement is in play.
Yes.
However, because of Love is Blind, like literally got engaged in like a few days. Like, do they really know each other? Were they really? Like, I don't know, right?
I feel like the conversation that Sarah Ann had with, oh my gosh, what's her name? The blonde girl.
Oh, Laura.
Laura.
Yeah.
Laura's cold.
Jeez.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, right.
I don't wanna get her mad.
No, the behind the scenes, never before seen like footage, whatever, where they're having a conversation by the lake.
Yeah.
That to me did a lot to resolve the relationship. Obviously something else happened beyond that, but like I felt like that was a real conversation. And to your
I think
point,
so too.
I do think they're in such a unique position where it's like, how could you expect someone who was like, if you think this is your soulmate, you're not going to try to fight.
Yes, yeah.
You know, I'm not saying I agree with her actions per se, but I'm saying I can understand where she's coming from, especially after that explanation.
With that conversation, it humanized her for that conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the first time. For the first time.
Maybe almost only time.
Yeah.
But then I respected her for kind of like bringing it up and speaking to it. Same. I don't agree that she should have done it. And if it was like this, like, hey, if ever, it's like you send that message after you find out they're not together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not while they're engaged.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I'm not
Close
even
off like that.
against it. Yeah, the
Yeah.
fact that you reached out and you're like, hey, like this was closure for me. But then it's also like, just respect for other humans.
Yeah.
The couple that is engaged. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
For real.
So
And can we talk about Clay?
Yes.
yes. I thought it was. He did the work. I feel like, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go first.
Oh, you hang up. I was gonna say that was the first time I seen or felt like I seen Clay. Like I felt like it wasn't him, Clay for TV. I felt like it was Clay being Clay. The whole like performative
Yes, yeah.
energy was gone, and I just
get
felt
that.
like it was really a self-realization for him to watch back.
Yeah. We're also catching them a year after everything
Yeah,
has
because it
happened.
was so
So
long.
you really had time to sit with yourself,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I definitely feel like I sensed that energy change with him as
Yeah.
well. And even like the exchange between him and Brett, I thought that was very touching as well.
Oh yeah. The
Yeah.
other.
From past seasons.
Okay, but AD went on a date with that guy?
I know, right?
I kind of
2
had a
days.
feeling she would.
Just to
I mean, he
see,
looks like
right?
Yeah.
Superman. He looks like
He
Clark Kent.
does.
He does.
He does. I mean, at the end of the day, they had a connection.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it was
exactly.
between those, like, that was her other thing.
that was the other
Exactly. Let's
person.
explore it.
And
right?
she did technically say the first one was he wanted to apologize.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
you
fair,
know,
fair, fair.
so I think it was nice, but then.
But I guess from our end, watching him do his little show.
Yeah.
His little like
America's watching.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, AD, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Doesn't-
fact she had a sign, that one fan.
Oh yeah.
AD all day.
Yeah.
Too funny. Who else was there? Who
What's
else was worth
ironic is
talking
we
about?
don't even talk about the couple that was successful in finding love.
They're so cute.
They're
Yeah.
cute.
cried
I
at their
feel like
wedding.
they're
Like, I
happy.
was
They're cute. You know, I think we're all like,
We want
Happy for them.
The cheese.
I know, right?
It was a
Let's just
chismosa.
okay?
We're like, yeah, okay, Amy and John, yeah.
They're great. Happily ever
boring.
after.
But Sarah, Ann, and Jeremy. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah.
I also really liked how Jessica handled herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually liked her more after that.
She was also
after the
humanized for
reunion.
me.
Yeah, for sure.
I think she
For sure.
communicated well. I also liked how she communicated to a lot of the other people.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And how she very much put them in their place without coming out of herself.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
She kept it cute.
She did very well.
She kept it cute.
Did she not also look like she was giving me Sandra Bullock Miss Congeniality vibes?
Oh,
The just her look.
Love that
Yeah.
movie, by the
Yeah,
way.
great movie.
But anyways,
Yeah.
But yes, Love is Blind. Another season in the books. I think they said there's Perfect Match, right?
I'm not.
I don't watch
know what
that.
I may
Yeah.
give it a try. We'll see. I'll report back.
Yeah.
So since we watched Love is Blind on our off time, we're gonna.
was it our off time?
Well,
A break time. It was a
break
break.
time. I was trying to make a smooth transition about work-life balance, but it didn't work.
Sorry. Oh, I ruined it.
So yeah, work-life balance. How's everyone feeling with work this week?
It's been a lot. It's been a lot.
Can everyone take in the dead air?
Yeah.
Can we
I
just
know.
like take a big sigh
Yeah.
for a second?
Guys, this is our
Honestly.
break.
This
Bruh.
is our break.
Yeah.
This is literally our
It's
break.
a lot. Adult life is. Well, we just talked
Adulting is
about it.
real,
Adulting
yo.
is hard.
Who wants to go first?
I know. Who wants to go first?
I
Well,
mean,
I guess we can go around and kind of ask, do you feel like you personally have a work-life balance?
Yeah.
Camille?
I made a noise. So
Why are you
that
asking
is-
me specifically?
Because you're really great at like.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, great.
She's like, not
a
the
compliment.
All right. So I'm going to give my 2 cents about work-life balance
Okay,
because
okay.
I don't think I see it the same way as some people do. I don't necessarily believe in work-life balance, if I'm being honest.
Oh,
I believe in
interesting.
work-life integration.
Ooh.
Like,
Oh, actually,
yeah,
yes. You have
right.
spoken to
That
before.
changed for me a few years ago when I first started my business because for me, I think it was different when I was working a corporate job and I was like, work-life balance to me was like, 9 to 5 I'm working or whatever. And then after that, I'm with my family and my phone's off or whatever.
Yeah.
But when I became an entrepreneur, that's not realistic. And for me, what I was doing, the work that I was doing was very much like it really felt like me. Like there wasn't really, I was a consultant, I wasn't, it wasn't like I was, I don't even know how to explain it. Like it was me. Like that was who I am. It
Yeah.
was not like I was turning it on and off. I couldn't turn it on and off because
Right.
it's who I am.
Got
So
it.
I had to learn over the last several years to kind of navigate that. And, I have alarms and an interesting calendar.
Yeah.
And it's for that reason because I don't like, I pick up my nephew from school, for example, like
Yeah.
that doesn't mean my day has ended. Like
You go home.
You know
and
what I mean?
I'm
Like
plugging back in.
yeah,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
I have a very specific schedule and
I like
that's
that.
kind of my 2 cents.
I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah. And I think it kind of takes the pressure off, to be honest, because it's like, well, if it's work-life balance, what happens when there's a bleed of one into
Yeah.
the other? You freak
True.
out. You
Yeah.
lose it, right? Like
Yeah.
I would go insane as someone who's very structured,
Yes,
right? I'm
yeah.
just like, oh no, like what do you mean I have to, 1 more hour? Like,
Everything's
I'm having a melt,
ruined.
right?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
having
yeah.
a meltdown. And
Fair.
like having the integration really gives me the fluidity, the flexibility,
I like
to
that.
just kind of like move as I
Yeah,
need
pivot,
to
yeah.
in the moment.
Yeah.
Pivot's the
I need to
perfect word,
start
honestly.
Thinking like that.
I like that perspective. It's such a little,
Mm-hmm.
thing that you can kind of just click,
Yeah, for
to look at it differently.
No, I like that.
But that's refreshing. I like that.
And when you think about, sorry, like I can
Keep
talk about
going,
this all day.
girl. Keep going. I'm like, how do I follow up that?
When you think about like all the
Your
things
turn.
that you do in your life, right? A lot
Yeah.
of us are like, oh, I want to be healthy. I want to be this. I want to be that. Like a lot of those things go hand in hand. I don't see the separation. Like for me in my work, like in order for me to do certain things, I have to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have to, I don't know, I have to practice certain skills. I have to
Yeah.
practice discipline. Like they're all the same. Like to me, it's not like I can be one without the other. I cannot be,
It's a uniform.
there for, like I
Yeah.
can't be there for my clients if I'm not there for myself.
Yeah.
Because RuPaul said it.
But yeah, so.
No, I like that. I like that shift in mentality. I was watching this thing where they said, if you look around the room, like how many things that can you find that are, let's say, the color blue? Then you tap into that because that's what you've focused on, right? And now you miss all the other colors. But it's because you mentally shifted your perspective to focus on one thing. So if you focus on that mind frame, then yeah, that's probably your best bet. Thanks, Camille.
You're welcome.
Oh man.
Why I say that's important to me in hearing that is because I obviously work from home. When I first left like the whole sales corporate world and like really dove into art, it was really hard to find that balance because now it was like, wow, I have all the time to paint now. So all I'm gonna do is paint now. And then, after a couple months, the novelty kind of wears off and you're like, whoa, like, am I part of like normal society? Because that now I'm up painting all night, but then I don't have time for like daytime stuff. So you almost feel like, okay, where do I find the balance back?
Yeah.
So then I told myself I had to switch that, and then I had to now create a routine where I only paint in the day.
Yeah.
Right. But as of lately, I've been painting at night again because I've just been feeling creative at night again.
Yeah.
So then just like you said, when you think like that, it almost feels like, oh, my schedule's thrown off, which I have been feeling. I've been feeling like, oh my God, I'm not getting enough sleep, or oh my God, like my whole day is shot because I slept in a little bit longer because I worked till 6 a.m. So yeah, that's good to know. I haven't been feeling the balance, guys.
Yeah. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
very hard to find the balance when you don't have that 9 to 5 structure, right? Because you're exactly, the routine is very rigid when you work a corporate job or a 9 to 5 or whatever. If you don't have the fluidity, the flexibility to create your own schedule and stuff. But again, like Cam said, the discipline is important to create work-life balance, work-life integration. For me, every day, every morning, I have to walk my kids because that's me spending time with them. That's important to me.
Yeah.
And that's important to what I would consider is part of my work-life balance. Because if I stop doing that, then I stop making time for my kids. Then I'll start losing myself, right? So that part grounds me. And when I bring my kids, and then I have to start my day. I literally say, I literally have in my alarm, Liz, start prep for the day. That's my thing. So I get my coffee, whatever I need to do. Then I leave at a certain time to make it to where I have to be. I don't start my day, work day till 10 a.m. That's my thing.
Yeah.
So that way I have the flexibility for myself. I don't feel pressured, I have to be somewhere. At an exact time
start.
at 9 a.m. start. Yeah. I like the slow start in the morning.
Same.
That I give myself.
Yeah.
And then because once your day starts, it's it's 0-0. But again,
slower mornings.
Yeah. So I mean, I intentionally choose to have a slower start right in my mornings. That way, because as soon as 10 o'clock hits and I reach my destination, it's go time, right? Until about when I have to go home. Yeah. So for me, being an entrepreneur, yes, there's lots of flexibility and fluidity, which I love. But also in order for me to be effective as an entrepreneur, I still need discipline, right? Yeah. I need to be able to show up every day to these meetings, to do these things, and the commitment, right?
Yeah.
In order to get to do what you got to do, right? But I love the opportunity that we get to own our mornings, our schedule, and everything like that, for sure. And then just being able to integrate the little parts of it that ground you, like me walking my kids to school.
For sure.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So
That's a real luxury, the slow morning, right?
Yeah,
that
it is.
I think there's a big misconception when you hear things about the 3 a.m. or the 4 a.m. club, which I'm a part of.
Yeah.
But I think
I aspire to be part of that club.
I know, me too.
I haven't been let in yet.
So
That's when I wash my paintbrushes.
Oh my gosh. Meanwhile, I'm like,
I know. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's so funny. But I think there's a misconception that I'm waking up and I'm just jumping out of bed and I don't know, just on the road.
I do think that of you.
Yeah, but
I do.
I'm
if
not
anyone
doing
at this
that.
table, I think,
Yeah.
I think she's literally Jack in the Box.
I'm not doing that. Ready.
Yeah.
Literally that. Right?
Yeah.
But I do practice slow mornings.
Yes.
It's absolutely necessary
Yeah.
because, as Liz said, once that day starts. Sometimes I cannot stop it, especially if you're in
Exactly.
the zone. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. When you're
Yeah.
in the zone, you cannot stop that flow.
Well,
No,
it's
for
good
sure.
to know you also have muta and all that.
You're so funny.
No, for real.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if
Excuse me.
it's a creative though, but I don't know. I just operate differently. For me, I have to see my work. So if I don't see it, because before I had a studio room, right? And when it was in there, I found that I wasn't being as productive with it not now being in my living room, but now with it being in my living room, because I need to stare at things when I'm working at it. So if I walk away and I'm still able to stare at it back and forth, then I'm getting constantly inspired. But if I remove it, then it's
in the other room
out
and
of
you
sight,
leave.
out
Yeah.
of mind.
Yeah.
It's not even I don't even go visit it. So, yeah, the creative mind is very
Different.
It's very different.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's perplexed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
6 a.m., bro. I could not.
Yeah.
Sometimes when the zone hits, you just don't stop.
For
This
sure.
is true.
For
Because
sure.
and I'm sure it happens in the day when you're just
It
you know
does,
what?
Yeah.
I'm going to finish this now.
Yeah.
It just happens for me.
At 6.
at night.
Yeah.
At night.
It ends at 6:30 a.m. or whatever.
So I literally, I don't know if it indicates that I don't have work-life balance, but it's it's different for me every week because I'll have times where I'm because I have so much, I want to get up, and also the business day, and I'm and if I find my flow, I'm okay, cool. Then 6 o'clock I can tap out. But then I've also experienced days or weeks even where I'm there's a lot of running around or there's meetings, and then I can't actually buckle down and work, and
Yeah.
then it's 11, and then I'm all right, let's go.
Yeah, that
and then
will happen.
and then
Yeah.
I work
100%.
until I'm done, and then I go to sleep. And I don't know, it's random like that. So like I kind of get what you mean in terms of like the integration. I know it's like I kind of flip flop between the two sometimes. But that's my work-life balance sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's all. That is a luxury too. That you can
Lock in
when you want. Yeah,
or when
yeah.
you can.
Yeah,
and
like
it's
you don't
effective.
and you're not
Yeah.
being paid just to work for like 9 to 5, and then
This
like
is true.
then you
Yeah.
can kind
You're
of
literally like staring at
manage
the clock
around
like
it.
that.
But I also do think that not everybody is able
out?
to do that. Yeah,
1000%,
Yeah, some
yeah.
people could spend a whole day doing absolutely nothing and then like get nothing done, and then like they'll be working from home and they're just so distracted. I know people that are like that. And they just
Yeah.
get so distracted by everything that's going on in the home that when they're done, it's like, oh, I didn't even do anything.
Why
You
are
know
we
what I
talking
mean?
about? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Also, but sometimes too with offices, it's like, you know, from 2020, we worked from, there's working from home is now a thing.
It
you know?
is.
But before, or even when now people coming back, it's like, oh, great, you have FaceTime, you can go directly to someone and talk to them face to face. But then there's also sometimes like, are you being productive? Because you're only going to the office once or twice a week, it ends up kind of becoming more social, or like, you know, that you don't get to like actually lock in.
You're
Yeah.
catching
You
up.
know, but I mean, different places, different
I
work
think
styles as well.
I think that sort of thing is really important for morale. It's hard to build a culture when
Yes,
you don't.
no, I agree
To each
with
other.
that.
Yeah,
100%.
so like it
yeah.
might not be impactful for production
From
in
a work
terms of like a
standpoint.
work-life balance
Correct.
perspective, but I
Yeah.
think overall, yes, it does increase because you're increasing the relationships.
Yes,
Yeah.
within the
exactly.
office.
Human
Yeah,
interaction,
exactly.
socialization, yeah.
Builds
That's
trust
definitely
within the
important.
team. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
and maybe now like going into the office is more to socialize, and then you
Yeah.
know just to force you to
there's
see
a-
people.
Yeah,
wanna
there's
hear
a
a
fine
fun
line
one?
too. Yeah.
Right.
So my cousin's husband works for this company. They're all like tech, you know, tech people, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. I was trying to find, you know, and I'm like, I'm gonna just look more dumb if I'm trying to sound smart. You know what I mean? So,
You
anyways,
never sound dumb, Jada.
but in terms of just their work style, they only have to go into the office once a month. And that one day is for team lunch and to hang out.
There you
and
go.
Not to work.
Beautiful.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
for the rest of the month, they're like,
Yeah.
we're not going to micromanage you.
Yeah,
As long as your work is done, work from home, we're good.
yeah.
So I was like, you know what? That's also refreshing too. I was like, that's a cool way to take an approach on the typical office setting, you know?
Yeah.
That
I like
industry
that.
was definitely like spearheading that type of culture from before COVID, I would think, right?
Actually, you know,
Like,
yeah.
I think it was Google who was doing
I
it.
was
They had like those,
about to say that,
right?
like their office setting, right? Like it's not cubicles now.
It's like a
they're-
lounge.
You'd have a beanbag,
Yeah.
you know,
Like
beanbag
the one I
lounge,
just did.
snacks.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Yeah, true,
yeah,
true,
exactly.
true.
I was like, where is like the office?
this is it.
Yeah.
Right?
I was like, this looks so fun because they want to create an environment where you feel inspired and want to work.
Yes,
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
for
Yeah.
sure.
It's not like this dragging your feet through the
Yeah.
front door and
Yeah.
saying,
Brown
great,
walls,
white-
great,
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
back, great, I'm
Yeah.
back. It's, oh, I want to go to work.
Yeah.
To work.
Do you guys think like work-life balance is different for men and women?
Yeah.
Like how they
Hold on, wait.
there's
Hold on.
the challenges,
Sorry.
the challenges of work-life balance.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yes,
But,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Talk about it later.
yeah, seriously, please. I'd love to hear.
No, I mean like, but from your like perspective and your, you know,
She's like, no, you
She's
guys
like,
go
you guys
first.
say.
yeah, like from
No,
what
okay.
you guys think.
I don't have kids, and I'm totally not disregarding like active present fathers, but I think as women, mothers, there's more like. I don't want to say more responsibility. I'm also trying to not be canceled. Like, do you
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
get what I'm getting at?
I'll say something.
Go, girl.
Go ahead, please.
Because it's very important. Like when women go on mat leave, it's difficult, and when they come back, it's not so easy for them to just come back to work.
Yes.
they're not just
I've
coming
heard
back
that,
to
yeah.
work. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no,
like
for sure.
if a guy, because you can take parental leave, like men can take a parental leave, and that's fine, and it's great, and they're supporting their partner in whatever they do based on their arrangement. But when a woman's coming back, like there's a mountain of things that they have to adjust to.
Yeah.
before they even get back to like thinking about work.
It's not even including her the physicality.
That's what I mean. Like, you know, we have postpartum life now, right? Not
That's
just
super
adjusting
real.
to life with your baby. Like, what's happening internally? What's happening? Are you're still breastfeeding? Maybe you're still lactating. Like, you know,
For sure.
And you know, I know someone in my life who went back to work, was headhunted after their mat leave, and you know, was really concerned about. Because they were breastfeeding their child still, and they had to go into the office and lactate, like you know, like that's a real thing.
Those
That's
are
a real,
very,
and that's just
yeah.
a very small part. Because again, I'm not a mother either, but like that's just a very small part of the adjustment, right?
Yeah.
Like
100%.
it's. And for me, like even when I think about my own life and like what those next steps are, it's been a bit of an adjustment to think about what I would have to deal with.
Yeah.
Should I become a mother?
Preparing
right?
yourself, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What does that mean for me?
Yeah.
What are the changes you're going
Right?
Yeah.
How do I have to adjust my expectations of self
Yeah.
for a period of time?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no,
As
for
the
sure.
as the primary caregiver for my child while my husband works.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So lots of stuff. Lots
And
of
well, sorry.
no, that's it. That's it.
I was excited
you're
to cut
What's
off
your
that last
answer,
bit.
Liz?
No, I want to hear Jada.
Well, no, all I was gonna add is just because of based off what you said, I'm like, let's also talk about our monthly cycles.
Oh my
like,
God.
not to say
Oh
men don't have
God.
emotions,
Yeah.
but it's like
100%.
our bodies and our hormones are literally changing, and then we have to show up in boardrooms or wherever
Yeah.
your workspace is,
Oh.
and we gotta, you know, beat apart with the men in the room, and we gotta be careful because we don't want to be seem emotionally charged or anything like that, or like that can be used against us in a
Sensitive.
ridiculous
Meanwhile,
way.
we're literally laying an egg.
Yeah.
Yes.
I make life. Like,
Yeah.
bro. So, I mean, to me, that's always something I think about. It's like, men, like, you guys don't realize, like, what we actually have to regulate.
Some men
Plus,
do.
keep up. Some men do. Let me
Yes,
not
there's-
discredit them
yeah.
all.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, in terms of, like, yeah, when you are, it's hard to balance work life
It's something
for everybody.
It's something
or
very big to
integrate.
factor in monthly.
Yeah, but that's something
Yeah.
that is super real for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you guys have used or see or want to use in terms of resources and systems that help keep you aligned with what your work-life balance goals?
Like, I want to try, or what am I?
Whatever. Like, is
What
there
are you
like
using, or what do you
like
want to
little
use?
yeah? Because you know sometimes we have the
Life
intention
hacks.
to do something, we just don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
This
what
is
do you,
true.
what do you use? What do you want to use? What have you tried and failed at? Maybe I don't know. Any best practice tips for the audience?
timers.
Timers.
Oh yeah,
Timers are
calendar
good.
management.
This is true. Yeah.
Calendar for sure.
I love my calendar.
Yeah.
Like,
No, the
It's not in
timer's
the
huge for
calendar.
me.
It's
not
not
happening.
happening.
Yeah.
It didn't
No,
happen.
It's not on
I
the
didn't see
balcony
it.
door.
If it's not on
right,
Anna's
right. We were
window,
talking about that
it ain't
before, yeah.
happening.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, definitely
else?
timers. Hard stops too.
Oh yeah, timers.
Hard
Stops,
stops.
yeah.
Hard
Yes, yes,
stops.
yes.
Like, just like you need to hard stop when you're on the socials. You need to hard stop when you're maybe in a TV zone.
Yeah.
You need to hard stop when you're in your work.
I want to like have one more answer, but I'm like, what else do I use?
Yeah.
Other than my calendar.
Yeah.
And now I'm like questioning, like, okay, well then what else could I try? You know,
I-
if that's all I have. What do you got?
I'm a little old school, so like I do have calendars and stuff like that, obviously. But sometimes, especially if it's like I don't know, if it's a creative day or even just like a heavier day, like I'll start writing things down in a checklist.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's like I
Checklists are
still,
perfect.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we're kind of from that era where
Yes.
it's just like,
Yes,
and I
yes,
feel
yes.
very accomplished.
Yes, yes, yes.
Validation.
Like you got the
Right.
day done.
And I like sometimes using a
True.
cute notebook is very motivational for me.
I
Like,
do
you know, with a
love a
nice
new
pen with a
notebook.
good flow, like, you know,
100%,
seeing my
yeah.
little writing there. Cause
Yeah.
we all, you know, we all have good writing. Like,
I was about to say, you know, our calligraphy is on point.
exactly.
Wait, sidebar, very unrelated. When you mess up, do you want to rip it out and start over so you write it all nice again?
Sometimes,
or are you one of
depending.
those just cross it out and live life?
I cross it out now. I don't have time to.
Yeah, I cross
Yes.
it out.
Yeah.
I cross out.
Yeah, I have whiteout, like the tape kind, because who has time to wait for that to dry? So, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
oftentimes I usually just cross it out.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like me and him like we understand. I do.
Yeah, me too
From a
sometimes.
time perspective, yes, I'll do the cross. But sometimes, like I used to back in the day, I would do like X's, like a straight line of X's
To make
cross
it
out
look
that
like
line.
visually. Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah,
because
yeah.
aesthetically, I'm like,
Yeah.
this
Or I
note
would
is
like
cute.
cover it with like a sticker or a post-it note with something I had to do, and then rewrite around it. So I treated it almost like journaling with a little bit of art to it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, I couldn't just cross it out before. But
Before, yeah, no.
Before.
But that was a long time ago for me.
whiteout is. I hate that rolly whiteout.
I prefer. I
sorry.
don't use it
Like-
often, but I prefer that one too.
Yeah.
I'm choking.
That rolly whiteout is the worst invention.
Like,
I don't
no,
like
The
what are you
tape
talking
kind?
about?
the one that's like just like this.
Yeah, I love it.
That's genius.
Yeah.
That was game changing.
honestly.
Then the one you go like this, like
Yeah, the nail
the
polish
painted
one.
one.
You like that one better?
I don't like whiteout. Period.
Yeah, I don't like whiteout either. Actually, I don't. Yeah.
Interesting.
She's like, don't talk about whiteout like that.
Right? Like,
guys, we're actually talking about whiteout right now.
Sorry.
How did we get here?
who wants to talk about paint drying?
I do. I want to talk about paint drying. I want to talk about.
know.
To be
Goodness.
fair, we were talking about tools.
Yeah,
Tools.
and
Okay,
that is a
bringing it
tool
back,
that I
bringing
use
it back.
to
we
be
were
more
talking about.
efficient because I don't have time to wait
back
for the
to it.
whiteout to dry. So
Yes.
that helps me be efficient. Is I cross it out or I use the tape whiteout because I don't have to
Maybe
wait
I
for it to
just got
dry.
a bad kind. But anyways, we'll talk about
That's from
that later.
Dollarama, bro. Like,
Yeah.
It would like dislocate from. It's
weird.
fine.
That's weird. I think I know what you're talking about before. When
Yeah,
you,
you
used to split
do.
open. Yeah.
You do know what I'm talking.
And like I
about.
have a pencil case with cool pens, like just
Yeah,
like that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Like the
cute
stuff that
things.
motivated me before
Yeah.
is honestly some of the same stuff that motivates me now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I use
Same.
what
Yeah.
works, and I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. Is like you
True.
have to use what works.
Yeah.
If it doesn't
Yeah.
work for you, if calendars are not your thing, like you
Yeah.
prefer to write on your balcony door, literally.
Yeah.
Use
And mirrors.
that and mirrors.
Yeah.
Like do that because the best system for you is the one that you're going to use.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Right?
For sure.
Like,
Also, shout out my creatives. When I'm not feeling very inspired, I legit scroll through Pinterest, scroll through Google, go for a walk, like whatever it is. Like you can't just think it's magically going to appear in your mind. You have to accelerate it by looking at things visually.
Yeah.
So
I like that. I
Yeah.
also like Pinterest too.
it reminds
I'm
me
a
of like,
Pinterest.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
the
Go
wrong
ahead.
word.
No.
Fill in
I
the
said it
blank.
in my head.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
What?
I love Pinterest is what I was going to say.
There you go.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that topic is done now. So
I know.
next question.
I don't know what's going on today, guys. My brain
Honestly,
is
we're a
just
little
like,
off today.
Guys, this is our break. I said it.
Yes.
No, but what you're saying is true. Like it reminds me of like if I'm having a hard time focusing on something, like let's just say it's like a block for me to like call people or something like that. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
Then I'll go to the gym instead, and I'll just swap the blocks. You know what I mean? Because it's like maybe it's not time for me to call because my brain needs to wake up, or like I just need to be stimulated differently.
Yes.
So then I can switch it out, right?
Yes,
So
yes. You have to put gas in a different tank for you to be able to get in the car.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
This is true.
yes.
Yes. no,
I
it's
like
true.
that.
it's good.
I go for walks. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah, especially with the warmer weather, like it's nice. You can just go walk outside.
We're almost gonna lose these.
I know, right? Like, holy.
Guys,
You're so
It's
funny.
happening.
done. My brain is just not.
It's happening.
Work-life balance. We're running out. We're running out.
Edit.
Guys, we're running on fumes.
I'm here, but my brain is like really somewhere else right
Oh
now.
man,
It's just like that's just life. I think
that's
like
real. Yeah.
like
Which
some.
is the irony of this episode.
This episode,
Yeah.
yeah, literally like today, right now, my brain is so full of what's happening right after this and what happened like literally before this, and I cannot just right now I cannot be in the zone. It's I don't know why, but I think it's just like an accumulation of everything that's happening, and sometimes we just like that's where we're at, right?
That is super real though. Like you
100%.
explaining that, I'm like 100% I've been there when you're just like there's so many
Right?
things on the go. Maybe
For what
it
it's
is
worth, I didn't
integration.
know
Sometimes
this.
I am thinking of like
Really?
personal work life stuff, or sorry, personal life and work stuff at the same time, and then like you said, you can't lock in sometimes, or
I
you
cannot
just
lock
get
in.
yeah.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, guys. That
Oh my
I cannot lock
gosh,
in right
don't
now.
even apologize.
Really?
Yeah.
No, usually I'm more engaged, but I'm just like watch, like just listening and
I think you're
listening
still
to you guys.
sharing your opinion. That is very valuable.
You know what I feel like when I'm talking? It sounds like blah, 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 blah. That's literally what I think. When I talk, I literally feel like that's how I sound like right now. Like Charlie Brown, like.
Oh my gosh!
Like, I have
we did
nothing
not
to
just
say.
Charlie Brown.
Yes, we did.
But that's like
And only
literally
people in our
life,
generation
right?
would understand.
Oh my gosh.
I'm crying. Good thing I don't have lens. Okay.
I
But
have a
yes.
tickle in my throat too, so it's like.
What do we have?
Is there anything that you guys tried that didn't work when it came to work-life balance?
Ooh.
And like, when did you realize that you needed to even implement something to
I
help
think
you
it's
balance?
the thing I mentioned earlier, the whole feeling like I had to structure myself, and as a creative, feeling like I could do that. Like I could set a time from 8 a.m. to 6. I'm gonna paint. That's gonna be my paint time.
Yeah.
That doesn't work for me. It will never work for me.
Yeah.
Like I can try and I can attempt, but that will never be an everyday, without doubt, schedule for me, because it
Yeah.
doesn't work. Because
Doesn't work for you.
sometimes from 8 to 1, I'm like, I don't feel what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
True.
And it is a creative is like it's like an internal connection. Like I have to connect to it, and that's why like sometimes with murals, it's a little bit more of a. I wouldn't say it's a challenge. No, I will say it's a challenge because you have a schedule. There's no if, ands, or buts.
Yeah,
like,
you
gotta
gotta
get
you
it
have to
done.
stick to it.
This
Yeah.
is
Get
the
into
hours
the
you gotta
office.
get into
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
Yeah, there's no going around it. But maybe that's why I like it, because it kind of remixes what I'm used to. So I think structure is something that's so bad.
No,
Structure doesn't work for me.
Well, it's different for everyone, right?
It is,
That is a
exactly.
structure
Yeah.
for you.
For you, yeah.
Structure just means like, it's whatever works for you, right? Because
Yeah.
like for me, like I couldn't do that. Can you imagine like if we swapped lives?
Yeah.
I've
it's
always
what
thought
works
about
for you.
Freaky Friday between me and Camille.
I would watch that movie.
and,
Yeah.
and like what she
One
would
ticket,
do.
please. Yeah.
Private screenings.
Yes.
I'm like, how would Camille function in my schedule?
Oh man.
I don't know. But if I'm being honest, like part of the reason why I am so rigid in my routine and in my schedule is because I do feel chaotic inside. I do feel very chaotic, and I know
So
for
you
a
need
fact,
that structure
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
kind of
those
help
systems
guide.
weren't in place.
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
not-
I understand
Like, and the
that.
systems are not just time; like they're the people that are
Yeah.
there to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
100%.
sure.
And
I get
none
that.
of this, whatever this is,
Yeah.
would be a thing. Yeah. So
That's
yeah, but we'll.
I think
talk-
you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And Liz, I have a question for you because I am child in my life. You got 3 of them, so that you have work, you have yourself. But how is it, balancing it with the little ducklings?
oh my goodness.
They're the cutest, by the way.
I try to make sure that I make time, pockets of time for them that are very intentional in terms of talking to them. Like, for example, in the morning when I walk them, we'll talk. We have a song where before I drop them off, I always make sure I sing the song to them. It goes, you are brave, you are kind, you are wonderful, you are smart, you are silly, so adorable, you are helpful and loving, and then kind and confident, you are uniquely you. So we sing this together every morning.
I'm gonna cry.
Because
Literally.
I'm sharing that because
Oh my God,
my
that is the
whole day will
cutest.
go so crazy and they won't see me all day, and my day's like this every day, right? But if there's one thing they'll always remember, it's those moments.
That song.
100%.
You just gave me shivers.
I'm like, I'm gonna sing this song to myself.
It's in there every morning before
This
you
is a
leave the
great
house.
affirmation.
You are kind. You are.
That is so.
yeah.
Wow.
Can you send the lyrics to our group?
Did you find that? Did you make that up?
We made that up together. Me and the kids. Yeah. Because
I love that.
and why I'm sharing that, it's important because parents, it's so hard some days to really balance it, but when you are very intentional with the time that you spend with your children, they will take that with them and they remember that. And even if they don't
100%.
see you for 8 hours, it's like it's like they feel like so happy still. I don't know how to explain it. So whenever I come home, the kids are so excited, even though they didn't see me, and they have all the stories to tell, right? And so even though when my whole 8-hour day was like crazy, right? It's like at the end of the day, the way I start and end my day with my children is what makes like all of that worth it. And then my parents who helped me balance my life, to kind of be my reinforcement is really like how I'm able to achieve these things. And then like what Cam said too, the people that you surround yourself with, right? Like on a daily is so important. Your inner circle.
Game changer.
They help you tremendously to balance your life. So like, for example, Bao Mama, I have someone that supports me there so that I don't have to check in every single second. And then like just really creating that those pillars for your life that will help you so that you can achieve the things that you need to do every single day to get through life, right? So my children are the one that ground me. My parents are the ones that really support me. The people at my work are the ones that really empower me. You guys are the ones that inspire me. My friends inspire me. And just to continue to surround yourself with these people, this kind of environment, and just being intentional with your time, where it goes. You don't have time for the BS, right? Like you're not doing that. If someone's trying to bring you down, you're not putting yourself there. You're taking yourself out. You're putting yourself somewhere else where it's conducive for your growth, for your development, for your joy, for your inner peace. And that's really where I'm at, because really, as adults, busy entrepreneurs, who has the damn time to deal with unnecessary things?
Trust me.
Nobody, right?
And at this big old grown age we all are now, none of us got time
so
for that.
So we really just got to be so intentional with our time and who we spend that time with, and are they contributing to your success, to your peace, to your joy, to all these things? And if they're not, then they're dead weight, right? And really, that's how I'm able to continue, because if I'm having a shit day, I tell you guys, and you guys are like, you tell me what I need to know to hear to get through, you and other people.
Well, we look up to you.
And this is exactly why I'm in awe of you, Liz, because before we even started this segment, this girl apologized to us like 3 times, saying, I feel so off, I'm not really contributing. And look at this, you might as well just mic drop, but we got 5 minutes.
What a way to close out, you know what I'm saying?
I think you guys just asked the right question, because some days
and she's humble too,
but the day, the days are
this
so
is
crazy.
you on an off day?
Yeah, right?
What is
And
an
the
odd
Oscar
day?
goes to
Oh my
What does
goodness.
an odd day look like?
No, guys.
Golden Globe.
I really can't, without you guys and
No,
the
but we
people.
do. Honestly, guys, we actually all look up to Liz.
Stop! No, guys, I can't. I cannot. I'm honestly, I always, when me and Cam have our one-on-ones, I always say I'm merely literally, I feel like a vessel of something, of a purpose that I'm supposed to fulfill, and I'm just sometimes I don't even know how I do what I do and how I get the energy to do. Some days I only have 3 hours of sleep, and not by choice, because my son.
And you're always pleasant.
Yes.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know, but
You're inspiring a lot of mommies out there.
Honestly.
I feel blessed to know you guys, to know everybody that I know, because really I can't be me if I don't have the inner circle that I have, right? So that's how I do it. That's it. That's it.
Love you, Liz.
Well, the episode's done. I think
I'm not following up that. I'm not going there.
Stop it.
You go. Yeah.
Stop it.
Oh my God. We could go back to Love is Blind. Because
All right. So Clay and AD.
no, you know what?
How about that Jimmy?
Before we get into Jimmy, can we talk about people that might have a little bit, they might need a little bit of assistance when it comes to finding balance? Do you have something for them? If they want to maybe carve out time for themselves but still have their kids with them, what would they do? What would you do?
I mean, for me, one of the biggest, most important things was finding a way to integrate, right, your work and your life and your children and health and all these things. And I mean,
do it, girl.
And
Plug it.
So one of my new businesses that I started was a creative space, because I wanted to create a space for children so that parents can create a space for themselves, right?
Yes.
Because it's so important, especially the way lives are evolving, you know, work from home, work life. You cannot just stay home all day.
Yeah.
You got to go out there, socialize.
Yeah.
But your kids cannot just be on their tablets all day.
Yes.
They got to go out there and play,
Yeah.
right? So, like, if it's not creative space, you know, there's a lot of spaces out there that are lending, you know, opportunities for parents to find a balance in some sort, that they're not neglecting themselves and they're not neglecting their kids, that they can actually do it together, right?
Yes.
Find family fun, fitness, all these things together.
I don't think I see that often.
No, it's a beautiful concept. I love how
Yeah.
you brought it to life.
Yeah.
The space is beautiful, very homey.
Love
Yeah.
the
Programming
classes.
for the kids. Exactly. I was like, the classes
Love
for
it.
the
Yes,
kids. Like,
thank
you're not just
you.
putting them in a room with toys. Like, you're
Yes.
actually stimulating them, inspiring
The
them.
obstacle
Exactly.
courses are unreal.
Yes,
They get to
yes, they
create
get to
their
be
own obstacle
active.
course and act.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Because I think as kids we always wanted obstacle courses.
We do.
And
Yeah.
we couldn't do it.
Exactly.
And you have like all the things to do it.
Yes.
True. Like
yes.
my nephew was there for your camp.
Yes.
And
Oh my God.
he straight up did not want to leave.
Yes.
I picked him up and he didn't want to leave, and that doesn't happen.
What does he call it now?
Battle school.
Battle school. It was
Yes.
the cutest thing. He walked in, he's like, battle school.
Oh my God, Aiden, I love you.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Absolutely adorable.
That was actually the feedback for all our kids who had the camp. Like, they didn't want to leave. They had so much fun.
That's the best.
One of the girls thought that it was still happening Thursday, Friday, and the mom said no, and she cried. So the mom texted me and said, you don't have camp on Thursday. I go, no, we don't have instructors. Like, because Ava's crying. And I'm like, oh my God, no. Like, I love that it had that impact because
Of course.
that part is getting so lost in the way
Yes.
society's evolving.
Yes.
Family time, kids playing, parents finding time for themselves.
Fitness, active living, you
It's
know.
getting lost in the fast-pacedness of society, right?
Because
Yes.
you want to throw a tablet in.
That's it, right? Band-Aid solutions.
That's beautiful.
One
Also-
thing I love about my sister is like she limits the kids' tablet time to just the weekends.
Oh,
which
Yep.
amazing.
I love that.
We did
That's
that
so
with
fu-
Aiden too.
I had
Yeah,
a
I
teacher.
love
He
that.
only let his kids watch TV. This is like us growing up, but
Yeah.
his kids could only watch TV on the weekends as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
At the time,
I
but-
think it's a huge game changer.
Yeah.
Because as we talked about in the other episode, we were like, what do we miss? And all of us were like playing outside.
Playing outside.
Yeah.
Being outside.
outside.
As a child, as an adult, it's just being free.
No, it's awesome. And the fact that Battle's going to have a workspace area soon, so you can
Yes.
drop off the kids, you can plug in, has
Yes.
Wi-Fi, you can
Yeah.
go work out. Like,
Yeah.
Literally a
it's
one-stop
such an
shop Battle
amazing
now.
kind of
Yes.
ecosystem that, you know.
Now
Yeah.
I'm like, are we
girl
going to
has-
open
Promote
an art
work,
studio?
life
Amazing.
integration, work-life balance.
So if you live in Markham,
yes.
Yeah. And the
72
surrounding
in.
area.
7261 Victoria Park.
Yes. Drop in, say hi to us.
You might
We're
catch
there.
one of
Come
us,
check out
all
the
of us.
space.
Yes,
I'll literally
yes.
give you a tour if you come in. Like,
Yes.
it's beautiful.
You do give us a great tour.
Thanks.
Okay, okay, that felt good. See?
Amazing.
Thanks,
And
God.
she's next.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, these girls know how to just like pick me up from a rotten place. Like,
Oh,
I couldn't even tell.
and this is like so crazy that we just judge.
who would have ever thought?
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
I thought it.
Tita Salita. There we go.
Ingat.
Ingat, guys. We'll see you next week.
Got a little picture with me.